Well, you've made it to the third week. Congratulations. Hey, did you know that we are all God's storytellers? This might seem a little exciting to some of you, and maybe some of you, it might seem a little bit intimidating. But we are all God's storytellers, and we've been tasked with telling that story. Our co-mission is to make disciples of Christ for the transformation of the world, and we do that by telling God's story. As God's children, we are not just called, though, to tell God's story, but we are also called to do God's story, to be God's story, and to celebrate God's story. As you gather weekly as a small group, you will grow within the story of God, and you will find your own place in the story. And then hopefully, as your group grows and is transformed, it is our hope that you will see the story of God unfolding all around you, not just in your group and not just in Lake Deaton United Methodist Church, but that you will look out at the world and you will see the story of God in your local community and in the wider world. One of our core values is risk-taking mission and service. This value refers to both service and witness. The service and witness we offer that stretches us beyond our comfort zone and has us engage people and offering ourselves in ministry that we would never do if it wasn't for our desire to follow Christ. This is us doing God's story. Such a big part of being part of a small group is us turning from being inward focused as a group and growing together with each other to turning and being outward focused and looking at the wider world and saying, how can we be part of God's story out there in the world? How can we do something within this story? So I hope you enjoy this conversation this week as you start to think of what your group could do, not just together to fellowship and grow and learn and transform with each other, but how you can turn and look outward at the wider world and become part of God's greater story. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.